Welcome to Wade Designs Jewelry. We are so excited to be here at the actual studio, the retail location in the backyard of Rita and John Wade. And John, I remember when you came here. How many years ago has it been?
23 years ago.
Wow.
We moved to Rocky Mount, North Carolina.
And you were recruited for your extreme talent, your wonderful talent in creating artistic pieces. And even though your fame now is all over the whole U.S., you have chosen to stay here. We're going to talk a little bit about reinventing your business model, but yes. Congratulations, y'all are the Small Business of the Month winners for December for the Chamber of Commerce. And Rita, we're going to talk in a little bit too. One of the important criteria for that is you give back to the community. And I have to say, through the many years, I have seen your hand and your presence in helping other businesses, in helping nonprofits. So you all have been very generous through the years to our community. But Rita, kind of jump in at this point and tell us about your new location and what people can get here and what they can expect.
Yes, we are a boutique jewelry shop that is by appointment. And while it is a new and trending business model to have this by appointment studio, we did a big leap of faith 4 years ago and made the decision to move back to our studio, where we decided that we wanted to do a by appointment business model that helped folks have the opportunity to come and have a one-on-one design appointment with John, and as well as being able to offer the services to other retail stores across the United States. And you know, it was not only a leap of faith, but we had to kind of learn what was going to work, what were people going to be willing to accept, and how they would embrace this new business model. And it has actually worked quite well.
Great.
Folks love it.
I would think one of the things, because I know you have talked through the years about if you've got a bunch of or some old pieces that you're not wearing anymore,
right,
turn them into something that new and something that you would enjoy. And even if a loved one has passed away and you want to incorporate some of their wedding rings in something, that's the type of thing that you can conceptualize and give them some ideas.
Oh, that's the mainstay of our business is the inherited jewelry that I got from Aunt Wilma and Grandma, and I've got these rings, and what do I do with them? They're an old style, and I want something more modern, or I want something unique, or I'm wanting them all in one ring. I don't want to wear 5 rings. And that's what we do here. We design a new piece of jewelry, we use those materials, and we remake them into a new piece.
And we really consider them heirlooms, because at that point, you've put 2 or 3 family members' piece of jewelry together, and you've created a piece you're going to wear every day. And people are so connected at that point to their family. They're so connected to looking down at that piece of jewelry and realizing that was my grandma's diamond and my aunt's the gold from her piece of jewelry. And I've had gents' wedding bands, the grandfather's wedding band added in there. So it's truly a legacy piece, that has so much sentimentality to it.
And that's kind of what jewelry needs to be anyway,
does.
in order
It
to
does.
fully appreciate it. You have a video that we're going to show now. Kind of tell us what it is where John is creating something.
Yes, John is going to be creating a beginning to end, a piece of jewelry that he has started from the raw materials to the finished product, including hand engraving.
Where it shows the injection of the waxes into the rubber mold, and the investment of the waxes, and the casting and finishing and stone setting on them, and then the final hand engraving, just to put my touch on them.
And if people don't have sufficient stones to accomplish what they want, you can even add the same exact match size stones.
I have a pretty good selection of stones on hand, especially in colored stones, and I have hundreds and hundreds of stone dealers that I'm acquainted with from our trips to Tucson that can send me anything. I mean anything. I can get diamonds delivered next day I can get rubies and sapphires and emeralds from any part of the world.
Would you believe this? Moving to this location, we've had more engagement sales than we had in a retail location. People are more and more taking something old and adding it to something new. Or they have the gold and they need a diamond. We've sold more diamonds in this location than we did annually in the location of a retail location.
Well, people want it personal.
And they want
Right.
it private.
And they want it private.
Interesting.
And
Okay.
we make appointments, and they have privacy here. It's just us and them. There's no other customers walking in. They don't have to have anybody else up in their business and knowing what's going on.
And you also, we're going to show, we got some video of some of your other equipment too. You do stone cutting here?
I do some lapidary work. It's kind of how I got started in the business. I had an uncle, my Uncle Charlie, owned an opal mine in Virgin Valley, Nevada. And he got me started cutting stones, and it's how I got into this business. So I still do lapidary, and I do faceting. So I can cut, rough stones. I can recondition old stones if your stone's chipped, or if it's scratched or abraded, or and pull it out of the mounting, repair it, and put it back in.
Wonderful.
I don't do diamonds. I have several people that do specialize in cutting diamonds that I send them to that need to be recut.
And they send their business to you.
They
So
do.
everybody
They do.
has his specialty.
Right.
Very quickly before we go to the banner presentation, behind us you've got a showcase, and you've got a lot of jewelry that's pre-made, that's not custom, and I want you to elaborate. You can get most anything people want, right?
Right. If you have something that is that you have found online that you'd really like to have, either we can make it or we can find it with one of our suppliers. We have all the same access to the suppliers that we had before, 100% access. So I can have something here within a day or two.
Well, and you mentioned a diamond. If somebody comes in and says, I want this grade, this shape, this whatever, bam,
I
you get
have
it here.
500 diamond dealers that are eager to send me anything I want. They're calling daily to find out if I need anything.
Right.
Well, that's where everybody watching
Yes.
comes
That's
in,
right.
right? Oh, well, let's go to the presentation by the Chamber, and then you are going to show us a wonderful piece of equipment you have, and we will be back.
All right.
Stay with us.
Well, we're back, and it is a wonderful day. It's a shiny day here at Wade Designs Jewelry. I'm Ken Hunter. I'm a member of the Small Business Committee with the Chamber of Commerce, and we're here to make the formal recognition of Wade Designs Jewelry as the December 2018 Small Business of the Month with the Rocky Mount Area Chamber of Commerce. And I just want to say I've known Rita and John for many years. It's been wonderful to get to work with them. And just like a lot of businesses throughout the country and also here in Rocky Mount, they have done a phenomenal job to adapt their business to a changing economy, to reimagine their business, and to be recognized for this award again in this new concept and what you all are doing, and are be able to even succeed even more by focusing really on what you do in terms of the craft of jewelry and being able to serve your customers is phenomenal.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm honored. I'm humbled and honored now that we are here in our home to have been awarded this honor. And John and I are excited and thankful. The Chamber has been great to us. We have been an active participant off and on for the last 13 years, and I am truly blessed to be surrounded by so many people that have been a part of our lives, part of our business, and truly grateful.
Well, I can imagine, and we are grateful for everything that you do as a business and how you're able to create those once-in-a-lifetime memories and art for a lot of people in this community. And John, obviously, your work is just absolutely phenomenal, and it's a privilege to have you in this community.
It's my pleasure.
Man, a few words, but amazing talents. And David, I know that for you, this is great to see a business like them. And even though it's a little different for us to be at somebody's home for this event, obviously it's a sign of the times in terms of really this is the way a lot of businesses are going.
Well, it is, Kenneth, and Rita and John, I also want to congratulate you. You've been part of our community for a long time, and you know, we talk about entrepreneurs in Rocky Mount and the Twin Counties, and we celebrate it a lot. And this is a great example of it. You came in with one business model, and it worked. And as times changed and the internet plays a much larger role in our day-to-day life, transitioning over where you're doing more wholesale than retail, and those connections have brought the world closer to all of us. And it was a great leap of faith, and I commend you for doing it. And John, you know, your artistic ways shine through like this, and you can get back in your office and create just beautiful pieces of jewelry. And we're so proud of you. We're so grateful that Rocky Mount is your home and that you elected to stay here and continue with your new business model. And we
Thank
again
you.
congratulate you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And it was unique and new to the community. And I really believe the community has embraced this new business model. And we're so excited to be honored with this.
We're proud of you and happy you're part of the chamber.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And I also just want to say that the business that you represent is also not just unique to just you. There's a lot of businesses here in Rocky Mount that do this and are in this model. And there's a lot of new businesses that are kind of transitioning into these new concepts. And that's what's great about the Chamber of Commerce, is that it's here to serve all businesses in this community. And if you would like to be a part of the chamber, obviously you can see that it is for everyone. You can learn more at rockymountchamber.org.
John and Rita, we are in your wonderful new showroom out in the back behind your property, and are so excited. John, I have had the privilege of watching you create masterpieces. In fact, I personally brought you stuff and am blown away with your talent. But you're going to give us an example today, or show us an example of something that you do. What in particular are you going to show us?
We're going to show you a couple of new technologies that I've reluctantly embraced, and now I'm really glad that I did.
Good.
They're things that I had thought about doing for years, and there was a learning curve, and I wasn't wanting to spend that time, but I have now, and it's been a great help to us.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure Rita nudged you along to do it,
She
right?
did. She pushed.
Biggest cheerleader of all.
That's right.
And what a lot of people don't realize is people all over the country seek out your talent and your work. I mean, we have you here committed to Rocky Mount, but your talent goes well beyond these walls, doesn't it? Rita, brag on him a little bit.
It really does. Little did we know 4 years ago when we closed our retail location on Zebulon Road, just exactly what the new business model would look like. Mm-hmm. We knew that we wanted to have still retail, but we also knew that there was an increasing amount of people that were seeking John's hand engraving and custom design. And we just needed to make that transition so that it was a way that we could serve customers, both wholesale and retail. And so, you know, it comes as a bit of a surprise that we're here today. It really does. Because if we had written a business model and a lovely business plan, don't ask my accountant, because he would have said, you need a plan. But I couldn't have pinpointed exactly how this would look.
Well,
But
you've evolved.
we've evolved so much. We're in a network of other jewelers that have 14,000 jewelry members in it. It's a private group. And John began sharing pictures of finished things that he was doing for customers, and bam, it blew up.
Okay, John, tell us what you're going to do.
Okay. Here at Wade Designs, we do custom design work and we do hand engraving. And one of the things I've always done for years is I've had a sketch pad and a pencil and a piece of paper and an eraser, and I've drawn little pictures for people, you know, to get a plan, to figure out if I can understand what they're thinking about and what they want to have built. And, you know, we drew little pictures. And that's all well and good, but it's a little time consuming. And I found this program. It's called Procreate, and it allows you to do all that sort of drawing and sketching on an iPad. And it's amazing, you know. My artwork isn't anything compared to what there are some people doing in this program. But like this one, now this is a case of where the customer sent me a picture of this ring, and they wanted to know what this monogram would look like on it. So I was able to import the ring and draw the monogram on it and then send them back a picture, email a picture, or text them a picture. So it's just, I mean, it's really fun what you can do. I have a customer that wanted a custom design and had purchased a diamond, and I took a picture of the diamond and then I drew the ring around it so that she can see what her ring's going to look like before I create it. So this has been a great tool for us.
I love that one because I can't tell you how many people have driven from Raleigh to this location, because that's a Raleigh customer, because they heard that he did this. So we're still paying those tax dollars to Rocky Mount. So I get real excited by the fact that we are drawing people through the internet from all over the country.
Plus, we can walk in the door and have a one-on-one conversation with John
Right.
and have him create as we stand here and handle it in person. We don't have to wait for it to be sent. So
No.
we're just
And if you want, if you want a copy of the picture, we print the picture. If you want me to email the picture to you, you can have it on your computer. Send it to your phone, and you can show all your friends what you're having made. It's exciting in a lot of ways.
Okay, are you going to do a demonstration now?
The other piece of equipment we bought was a laser welder. Now, it's as far as what I do and what you can see me do, it's hard for everybody to even see what I'm doing, but mostly it's about what it can do and why it's an important piece of equipment. What I've got here is a customer's ring. It's emerald and diamond, and she's worn off the prongs around the diamond at the center. Now, in the past, what we would have to do to retip those prongs and rebuild them is I'd have to take all those emeralds out because they won't stand any kind of heat. It would destroy them. So we'd have to remove all the emeralds. Chances are some of the prongs would break off. So the customer had a lot of cost involved for, just retipping those 6 prongs. But what the laser does is I can melt gold onto those prongs and build them up thicker by shooting a laser beam at it and holding a little piece of wire against it, and it melts the wire onto the prong. What I used to have to do is I'd sit here at the bench and I'd use a torch and I'd use some solder and a little piece of wire, and I'd melt little balls of solder in each prong, and I'd hold a piece of wire on there and heat it up until the wire and the solder and the prong all join together, and then snip it off and turn it to the next one and try not to melt this one. It was a delicate process. Now with a laser, and like I said, I wish you could see what I can see when I go in here. But I'm looking through a microscope which blows up a real nice big view of this ring, and I've got gold wire that's in this little dispenser. And I just put it on there. There's all kinds of settings on this for the 214V, that's the power that I'm using. It says 2.0 ms. The laser is going to fire for 2 milliseconds. 0.58 millimeters. The beam is going to be 0.58 millimeters in diameter. This 1.6 hertz. That's how many times it's going to fire per second.
Rita, it really helps that John is artistically talented too. I mean, he's creative beyond just the skill of doing it. John has always had such an artistic eye.
Yes, and a lot of times jewelers are either production jewelers, or often they can be what are designer jewelers. John has both. It's kind of a rare blend of someone who has the skill and the design eye. So yeah, it's a very unique thing, and he's been he has certainly this has helped his job a lot.
Oh yeah.
So being that it helps to produce more faster and more efficiently. So
What percentage of your work is design, and what percentage is will you design and then sell versus customer one-on-one telling you what they want?
I would say as far as the percentage of custom design versus perhaps wholesale business, today about 20% of our business is in custom design, that one-on-one experience, which is our retail business. 80% now, and that's probably, I would say last year we were 60-40 wholesale, retail, and this year it's 80-20. And so our retail isn't as big, however, our wholesale keeps growing exponentially. So we've had a very good year of growing the business. So.
You know, if you've got good eyesight, you can see this, and we'll pass it around. I've built up one of these prongs in the center of this thing. You can see it's a lot thicker and a lot heavier than the other prongs that are there.
See,
It'll
if
get
you wanna-
smoothed off. It'll get polished.
And so the turnaround for returning this to the owner would be very quick.
Yeah, it really saves a lot of issues with doing a repair on it. And I use this laser for a lot of the design work as well. I mean, a lot of times I have to assemble a lot of different pieces together. And when we used to have to solder all those pieces together, it was always a really delicate process to try and, you know, attach this piece over here and not have this one over here I just put on fall off when I heated it up. So the laser welds them together. And as you can see, I held that in my fingers while I did it. It didn't really transfer very much heat to the ring at all. And whereas a torch, you know, the whole ring gets heated to, you know, 1,000, 1,200 degrees.
And eye protection, do you need eye protection?
Through the microscope has a shutter inside, so that every time the laser fires, it closes for that 2-3 milliseconds. I can't even hardly see it happen.
Huh. But
it's-
you've already got everything positioned so it's...
Yeah.
Rita, and this is just one of many pieces of equipment that
Yes.
you all have invested in
Yes.
for his
We have
ability
a
to...
full casting room that we cast all of our jewelry in-house with the exception of platinum. But all silver and gold is all done right here. Platinum has to be done off-site. But yes, John has been, he's had a full casting room for the last 23 years in this location. Even when we were on Zebulon Road, our casting room was here. So he can take your materials, our materials, and carve a wax and create a one-of-a-kind right here. Nothing ever leaves the house. So
John, what's your favorite part about what you do?
My favorite part. You mean the favorite part of what I do, what I enjoy most doing?
Yeah.
Probably the hand engraving. When I sit and I'm hand engraving a piece for a customer and doing the lettering, cutting designs on rings, and I mean, I enjoy it a lot. I was sitting here this morning working on this piece before everybody got here, and
Rita,
it's.
you want to grab another one so you can show a finished product of what of the hand engraving?
But you know, this was sent to me by a customer who wanted these names and these stones put on here and engraved. So I was working on this, cutting these names into the bracelet and setting stones in it. And they want engraving on the inside of it as well.
And the personal nature of that is something that's just really hard to get anywhere else. Rita, you've got another.
Yeah, I mean, they requested that, you know, it have a little soccer ball on one side and a little soccer ball on the other side and a date down here.
It used to be people would get little charms and whatnot, but to be able to have engraved, so when you give some, well, they can't take it back for one thing. But
Yeah,
also,
no returns.
but they know that you put a lot of thought into this, and this is not extremely expensive, is it?
No, it really isn't. I do this on silver with a gold plating, and it holds up very nicely. It's very comfortable to wear.
I've worn
It's-
mine
it's not-
for quite a long
Example
time.
of a
Yeah, so you can see.
And you did that one too, right?
I did all those.
Oh, all of them. So you did the little diamonds in them, so
Yep.
you can put stones in them,
Yes.
among other things. Well, they're just beautiful. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Welcome. We're here to help everybody that wants a piece of jewelry for Christmas.
Absolutely. John, it was so exciting to see you with your new toy, and not only is it wonderful for you, but it's wonderful for us that you have that ability with the laser to do things more efficiently and, you know, maybe better even, right?
Yeah, the laser is an amazing piece of equipment. It improves so many operations and makes it faster and better and stronger.
And I guess the sky's the limit. As we buy more from you, then you'll be able to bring in more equipment, right?
We'll see what happens next.
Rita, it's so important to Rocky Mount in our area, and the Chamber is really focused on small businesses that give back, and people don't win this award unless they are recognized for giving back. Share your philosophy, because you've always been so generous.
From day one, I knew that what we wanted to do is reach people through touching their lives, and all of the different organizations that I have not only donated to, but served in various capacities. I have donated to probably over 100 charities over the last 13 years of Wade Designs Jewelry, and I really feel that it's always best to give your best. That's my philosophy behind it. And so no matter whether it was a small school or a big organization, I feel that anything and everything matters. And so I have given big. I had no idea the impact it would have on the community, but people found us because they wanted to thank us for the giving. We still, to this day, we are still donating to the Junior Miss program that it's now called,
I'm not sure. But,
it's a new
yeah.
name.
Uh-huh.
The Pregnancy Care Center we still support, and it has a first choice, or your choice.
Your choice.
Has a new name.
Women's Professional Network.
Women's Professional Network. All of those organizations that have been around for many years, we've continued to support. We support our local church, that a percentage of our sales that we tithe those as well. So all of our business is around supporting local, and so you ask, we give, whether it's small or big give. We support Rocky Mount, the private school,
Rocky Mount Academy.
Rocky Mount Academy.
Academy.
Rocky Mount Academy. Every year we've given, regardless of whether we're seeing those customers back or not.
Well, and I especially admire the way you help other small businesses too. With Santa's Favorite Shop, which you were the brains behind getting that started, and
Yes.
that helps a lot of businesses in town. So
Yes.
your philanthropy and your generosity has been through your talent with helping others too.
And those partnerships with small businesses really make a difference in a small community. Even though Rocky Mount is over 60,000 people, it's still a small community of people and small businesses. So I found that the partnerships with other businesses would help us just be a bigger presence within the community.
Well, before we close, how about giving information, your website, how people can get in touch with you, that type of thing?
We are located here in Rocky Mount, and you can call us for an appointment at 252-451-9270. You can also design on our website at www.wadedesignsjewelry.com.
People can design their own jewelry on your website.
They can send in a request, and they can upload a picture, and we communicate back and forth right on our website.
And that one-on-one, John, close with a comment of what you've seen. This is how people have communicated to you what that means, to be able to come and sit down and not have a room full of people watching what they're doing.
Yeah, it's we were very skeptical when we first started this venture and moved here about would our customers embrace it, and they've loved it. They've loved the privacy. They've loved making an appointment, and it's been very good for business. If somebody goes to the trouble of finding me, makes an appointment, shows up for that appointment, they're there to buy. They're not there for any other reason. They're not just looking. They're there because they need to make a purchase and they need help.
And very few people have the vision or the creativity, and to know that with your background, you've done so many different pieces that you know what works and how things can be incorporated, and the advice that you all can give to people who are not trained in this field one-on-one too. I mean, I know when I had some family stuff, you steered me and said, well, you've already got such and such, and so we would, advise that you think about this. So y'all, they're great. They are absolutely great. So I want to congratulate you once again, and
you.
thank you for watching us.
Thank you.